Let's be honest, 2023 is already off to a very rocky start. I'm sure you agree with me. End of 2022 and the beginning of this year has been full of turbulence. With the layoffs and the impending recession upon us, it's very difficult to stay positive. I'm with you. And that's why in today's video, I'm going to take you through 6 career and workplace trends that you need to keep in mind for 2023. So let's begin. Hi my friends, my name is Mehar Sindhu Batra. I'm your career coach and mentor helping you accelerate your career. So the first prediction is of course that there are going to be heavy layoffs and employers are going to retain only the best talent. We already know of so many companies such as Amazon, Google, Salesforce, Zomato, Dunzo, Ola, Meta, Goldman Sachs. All these kind of giant companies as well as startups have also thought of letting go of their employees. And this is something that we need to be prepared for the first half of this year. With the inflation, rising prices, the recession and economic turmoils, the companies have not been able to keep their profits up, and that's why they are planning to reduce their headcount. So what will this mean for you? This will mean that you need to make sure wherever you're working, you start going above and beyond. Start building those positive relationships at work in order to get noticed. It's not about putting our head down and doing the work, but actually showing up as well as showcasing our work to those who may be judging us. So job safety will become the most important thing for us, and especially if you're looking for a new job this year, you have to remember that you need to come across as somebody who's totally fit for the role. And that's why I'm coming up with a workshop called Grab Your Dream Job, which is this Sunday on 29th January, which you can sign up for through the link below. I will be discussing in detail my proven strategies to make sure you are able to grab your dream job this year. Since there will be selective hiring, it all comes down to how well we build our network. And like I said, it's all about those positive relationships that we build at work. So whenever you can, keep widening your network and connecting with people on a personal as well as professional level. Pose yourself to smart people at the beginning of your career. It will really help you in the long run. If you're enjoying this video so far, please do hit the subscribe button. It really helps me grow and create better quality content for you. The second career trend for 2023 is that AI and metaverse are on the rise. Yes, my friends, I'm sure you've been hearing about all these tools, OpenAI, ChatGPT, Lensa, and metaverse is also upcoming. Things are going to get big in the tech space and in the virtual reality world. So who will succeed at this? Not people who are afraid of AI, but people who are able to learn these AI tools and use them to their advantage. For example, you could become a ChatGPT expert and then companies will hire you to use that platform. Today's technology is like a black box that we don't understand, but the people who will succeed are the ones who understand how to use these tools. And if you're part of the Generation Z, you should be using digital tools to your advantage because you are the generation that has grown up using technology. So make that your strength, and that is what is going to make you stand out from the rest of the crowd. Please, my friends, don't be afraid that AI is going to make me lose my job. Think of how AI could play a pivotal role to take your career ahead. Across the globe, companies have recognized that AI tools are going to help their businesses scale up more efficiently and faster. That's why they are very keen on adapting these tools. And that's where you come in. AI, data analytics, data science, UI UX design, all this comes in this arena. So think of how your sector, your industry could be impacted by AI and start learning those skills now. The third career trend that we are seeing on the rise for this year is definitely about more flexibility and hybrid way of working. Thanks to the pandemic, working from home has now become quite normal. But yes, the employers are expecting us to come into the office physically a couple of days a week. In fact, according to a study, 75% of workers globally feel that hybrid way of working is here to stay and the new normal. Yes, there are pros and cons of working at home versus working in the office, but employers will now have to be more flexible to the idea that an employee may have a commitment and will need to work from home some days. One thing to remind yourself, if you are working flexibly or remotely from home, FaceTime with your manager, with your team is extremely important because of something called proximity bias. Managers remember the ones who came into the office more than the ones that did not. Unfortunately, that is the case. So find the balance between working from home and working from the office. The fourth trend is none other than upskilling. In the future, skills over roles are going to be given more preference. Like I said, the employers are going to be very selective about who they hire. So once they've hired the best of the best, they would want to retain that talent and keep training them to become better. So you also need to take charge of your career and think about how you can future-proof your job. For example, if you're planning a promotion, make sure you are aware of what are the skills required to get promoted and where you stand now, and do that skill gap analysis. Similarly, for a new job, you'll need to do the research of what are the skills required for my future career path. Managers are going to retain the people who have those skills to make their organization succeed. Please, my friends, keep learning new skills no matter what industry you belong to. Of course, relevant to your job or your future career path. Upskilling will take you from being very good at your job to being excellent at your job. And we can see this happening across companies. McDonald's, Nestle, GE Gas have all announced mass coaching programs for their employees. This could be different types of skills such as communication skills, thinking strategically, managing conflict, managing customers, and of course promoting diversity and inclusion, which is the next trend for this year. Diversity and inclusion is going to be a big concern in this year and in the coming years. A lot of young people have now started to voice what they're feeling, especially on social media. So if there is anything that is being done to them that is wrong, they are speaking up about it. And that's why employers are now scared and aware. Racism, sexism, casteism, these are the things that will not be tolerated by these young professionals like you all. And discrimination against employees does nothing but disruption. And that's why diversity and inclusion efforts are going to be topmost priority for most organizations. They want to recruit a pool of diverse talent that can work well together. So for you, it's also important to be non-judgmental towards your other co-workers. Because of the pandemic and so much going on, people have now become more sensitive at work, or at least they need to. And this is related to my previous point, that is on diversity and inclusion as well as hybrid way of working. So many of us have gone through some type of pandemic trauma, and it has started to affect our mental health drastically. Employers now need to recognize this and have started to already. And we can see this on the rise with the 4-hour work week, where the importance of a work-life balance is finally being catered to. Wellness time, no meeting Fridays, trauma counselors, mental health days, or therapy sessions being a part of the total compensation package are trends that we are seeing now. Because of all this trauma that we have all gone through on some level, it somehow starts to affect our performance, our productivity. So instead of making employees feel alienated and alone and therefore not giving their best at work, employers will need to become more sensitive towards these employees who've been through a lot. And that brings me on to the last career and workplace trend that is on the rise, is the need of a chief human resources officer. Employees are going through so much. Employers want to retain the best talent. They want to be flexible. They want to have some type of internal upskilling, internal mobility, also focusing on D&I efforts. AI is also on the rise. That means we will be using machines and relying on machines more than before, but that human element is still needed. And that is what a human resources officer is going to do. The biggest example of this is the recent CEO of Chanel, Lina Nair, was the CHRO of her previous organization, that was Unilever, before she became the CEO at Chanel. She still managed to become the chief executive officer after holding such a big post in the human resources domain. There is a lot of pressure on the human resources team to hire the right organizational talent, to retain them, to provide motivation to them, and also provide good employee experience so that they stay on for the long run. The CHRO professional will be the one staying close to the employees and listening to what they need and then responding to them. Empathy is also a skill that is on the rise and is something that one can't teach the other person. But HROs will need to be equipped to handle that with empathy and the right type of coaching skills. So if you've been thinking of a career in human resources, now is the time. That's it, my friends. I want to end this video with one final tip, and that is, please stay positive during this time. We are going to see layoffs, we are going to see selective hiring, and our jobs are going to be at risk in the first 6 months of this year. But please do not lose hope. The right organization will always want to retain you if you keep doing the work on your end. Remember, recessions are cyclical and these things come and go with time. It will always be fruitful for us once we get to the other side. Keep reading, plan your finances and your year ahead, and keep working hard towards your goals. I hope to see you soon. Bye.